Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome to our first ever online sinh hoạt. And trước hết con cũng xin phép các vị phụ huynh đang theo dõi chung với các em á, là hôm nay con sẽ nói chủ yếu bằng tiếng Anh để cho các em tiện việc theo dõi. So, you guys ever wonder how to be close to God during these difficult times? How do you become close to the Eucharist? Well, Phong Trào has a great technique for you guys to use, and that is Sống Ngày Thánh Thể, or living the Eucharistic day. And in this particular segment, we will focus on night prayers or Dâng Đêm. So how do you do a proper Dâng Đêm, or how do you do a proper night prayer? Well, those are great questions. Anh Tuyên will help you how to Dâng Đêm and what steps to take and what do you do during that night prayer, and how do you communicate to God, and how do you use this particular special time at night for you to be closer to Him, for you to talk to Him, and for you to grow closer and closer to Him. So before we begin, let's start with a prayer. Amen. Dear God, please strengthen us, provide us with wisdom to learn about how to think about on our days, guide us through our reflections, and give us the strength on the next day to love you more, to love our neighbors more, and to live our lives according to your will. Amen. Tên Cha và Con và Thánh Thần. Amen. So what is Sống Ngày Thánh Thể? Well, Sống Ngày Thánh Thể is the most effective teaching method of TNTT. We use this method to help our new member grow closer and closer to God, and to recognize that He is the center of our lives. And we use this method to help các em grow closer and closer to Him every day. What are the major parts of Sống Ngày Thánh Thể? It is morning prayers, Mass, communion, and night prayers. But in this segment, we will focus on night prayers. You can see some of the other videos that we are going to post today on how to Dâng Ngày and how to perform different other part of the day. So how do you Dâng Đêm? Well, Phong Trào teaches us that we start with the sign of the cross, examination of conscience. During this time, you will reflect upon your day, what you did right, what you did wrong, what you are not so happy about, what you are happy about, what are the things that you've done that you feel will make Him happy, what are the things you've done to make your parents happy, to make your siblings happy, and what are some of the things that you're not so good at. What are the things that you make them sad? This is a time for you to remember those things and see if you can improve on them the next day. And You will also use this time to examine your conscience and to do your bỏ hoan hỷ according to your divisions, as your teacher had taught you in the past on different ways that you can do your spiritual bouquet, your bỏ hoan hỷ. This is also going to be the time that you are going to jot down on the things, on all the actions that you have performed. And after this, you will read the Our Father, 3 Hail Marys, the Glory Be, một cái lạy cha, 3 cái kính mừng và một cái sáng danh. After that, you will read the act of contritions to reflect upon all the things that you have done wrong today. And then after the act of contrition is going to be the spiritual communion. And then after that, you will read the night offering prayers. If you don't know any of these prayers, after my video, I will have different slides that show you the prayer that you can read, or you can take picture of, and you can memorize. So you can use on today and then all the next days. And then after that, you just do the sign of the cross, and that is how you Dâng Đêm. Use this special time to talk to God, to tell Him how you feel, to tell Him all about your friends and all of the things you have done in His will. If you remember the wedding at Canaan, how Mary in that gospel, she actually taught us how to pray. What did she do during that wedding? Well, if you remember, they ran out of wine, and she told Jesus that they ran out of wine. That is all that she said. She didn't tell him what to do. She didn't tell him, oh, why don't you make them more wine? Or why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? She simply just tell him what happened. And that is how we should pray. We tell him all of the things that has happened. And we leave it up to God to decide what is best for our lives. That is how we should pray. Just like how Mary taught us. So now you guys have learned how this phong trào teaches you how to do a night prayer or how to Dâng Đêm. We, Huynh trưởng, also apply these steps, but in our own very special ways. We are going to show you how do we do our own Dâng Đêm. First up is chị Tuyền. Hello chị Tuyền, how do you do your Dâng Đêm?
It's almost 2 months we've seen you, Hiệp Sĩ, hoping you and your family are staying healthy. But remember that we are too near, us uniting Jesus Christ by living Eucharistic, living Eucharistic. Hello các em, it's chị Tuyền. This is actually your first virtue lesson this week, and our topic is living the Eucharist day, but part 3, which is night offering or Dâng Đêm. Now, each person, they actually do their night offering differently and uniquely. And today I'm going to share to you on how I do my night offering, and I'm hoping that you do your night offering too. So let's get started. So the first thing that I do is do the sign of the cross. And then what I do next is I examine my conscience on the things that I have done the day of, either the good or the bad. Now, if I did something bad, I make sure that the next day I will not do it again or not try to do it again. And then if it's for the good, then I will try to do more good deeds voluntarily. Next, I do the prayers of after contrition, Our Father. I do 3 Hail Mary and Glory Be. After all those prayers, this is where I go in deep, where I actually talk to God, where whenever I have any kind of problems or issues, I normally talk to Him so that I can relieve my stressed away, or makes me feel really good when I talk to Him. I also pray for whoever that is in need, but then I also thank Him that He has given me all the things that are here right now in reality. The next thing I do is I do the communion prayer so that I know that Jesus is in the Eucharist, that He's actually sets my heart. Okay. Lastly, what I do is, of course, our song, Dâng Đêm, before I go to sleep, and last but not least, the sign of the cross. I know, again, you are really, really busy with school and other things, but it doesn't hurt to kind of set aside sometimes and pray to God, okay? So I'm hoping that you do your Living the Eucharist Day morning, afternoon, or nighttime, but as we all know that we are tuning, so please do, okay? That is it from me, and I'll have another song here to see if it works out or not, okay? So it goes. It's been a long time. We miss you, Hiệp Sĩ. This pandemic really sucked that we can't be at tuning. But let's be patient. This will end soon. Can't we get to see you so that we can bond once again? Eat and laugh with you again. Hope to see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, chị Tuyền. Wow, that's great. How you guys? Yeah, maybe you guys can learn something from her and take it into your own experience as well. Next up is let's find out how does chị Nhi do her Dâng Đêm. Em xin mời chị Nhi. Go ahead, chị Nhi.
Share with you my night prayers. So first of all, I pick a time frame between 9 and 10 o'clock where I'm not too sleepy so I can focus on my prayers with Jesus. So I start out with the Apostle Creed, which summarizes the mysteries of the Catholic faith. And this is my cheat sheet. And then một kinh lạy cha, 3 kinh kính mừng, 1 kinh sáng danh. After that, I pick 1 mysteries of the Rosary for the week, so I do 10 kinh kính mừng for each night. And this is also a guideline, but I just pick my own prayers. After that, I pray for the also. Chúng con cậy vì danh Chúa nhân từ cho các linh hồn được lên chốn nghỉ ngơi. Hằng xem thay mặt Đức Chúa Trời sáng láng vui vẻ vô cùng. Amen. And then after that, my last prayer is prayer for vocation. To me, this is really important to pray for religious brothers and sisters. And then after that, I thank God for the wonderful day and individual prayer for my family, the church community, etc. And then I ask Him for the blessing for the night. And that's it.
Wow, thank you, Ginny. That was great. So now that you guys have learned how to do a proper Dâng Đêm, if you already are doing Dâng Đêm, or you are praying with your family, or you have your own special way, make sure to let us know. Write us an email or post on our Facebook. Let us know how do you do your own Dâng Đêm. So now that you learn all of these little techniques on how to communicate to God, just keep those in mind. on your prayer tonight and every night after? So I know that it is very hard to focus on God during these difficult times with all the noise in the world and with all the disaster that is happening. Well, if you remember, on a few days ago during a daily mass gospel, 2 disciples was walking to Emmaus, and God was walking with them, traveling with them every step of the way, but they don't realize who He is. Well, that's kind of applied to our daily lives right now. Is we spend our whole day doing different activities, playing games, sleeping, eating, communicating, hanging out with your family. Those are great. But sometimes we do all of these little things during the day, but we forgot that God is traveling with us. God is with us every step of the way. But once He came to their house, once He sat down at their table, He performed the miracle of the Eucharist. And by that time, the Eucharist opened their eyes. The Eucharist are what made them see, make them believe, make them recognize who He is. So during these night prayers, after you go through your day, remember what your primary goal in life is. Remember how does that goal get achieved. Your primary goal in life is, yep, you guessed it, is to become saints and to get ourselves to heaven. And how do we do it? To recognize the Eucharist in our daily lives. So think about every actions that you do in your day and see if any of those actually make God happy. Do any of those actions shows that you love God and show that you love your neighbors? And by then, by recognizing those things, you can do a little bit more the next day, and then you be closer and closer to your journey to become a saint and to be closer to your goal in life, which is to get to heaven. So thank you các em for tuning in, and hopefully in this segment you learn a little bit about the night prayer, learn a little bit about your faith, and use this opportunity to grow and closer to God. And hopefully the next day or tomorrow you will know how to love God a little bit more and love your neighbors a little bit more. Con cảm ơn các quý phụ huynh đã theo dõi chung với các em. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we have more exciting events for you guys in the next few weeks. So make sure you keep our Facebook notifications, and also gonna be posted on our Instagram. I miss you guys, and we'll see you guys in a few weeks. Thank you.
You called me out upon the waters, the great unknown, where feet may fail, and there I find you in the mystery, in oceans deep. My faith will stand. And I will call upon your name and keep my eyes above the waves. When oceans rise, my soul will rest in your